All right, man. Holy shit! It feels like it's been forever and a day. It actually kind of has been forever and a day.
A long time.
Been like several months, man. Holy shit! So, quick recap. This Thunderbolt Radio. We back. We're just gonna kind of keep it small for a little bit, then we'll continue expanding, just to kind of keep with schedules and get be realistic about it. There is an actual episode 6 out there. I just need to keep compile it. It's just a lot of work and stuff like that, so I haven't had much time. If you follow my Instagram, I built a ton of kits last year, so yeah, time and stuff. So title episode. This is episode 1 of season 2, called "Welcome Back." We're going to talk about some positivity in the community, the community, and we're going to do, we're just going to go around the table. We're going to talk about some good stuff. But either way, without further ado, I'm Jan, aka the Gunpla Stop, my boy Seth, Ready Builder 2, and we got Mr. J Hound down there, my boy. What's going on, guys? How you been?
Pretty good, man. Can't complain. I always say that, but I really can't.
No, it's been good. Finally got settled into the house a few months back. I've been at the new place for a year coming up in February, so everything's been really good.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. And wow, man, I missed again.
Right.
Holy crap, even on
Yeah,
camera.
no,
That's captured. Caught in 4K.
Not trash.
Caught in 4K. No, man, like I love your setup. I love the fact that in your new setup, when you move to your new house, that you not only do you have a place for your kids, but you have a place for your physical media. Even though physical media is for the dinosaurs, but you have a place for it. I like that. I like how, because when you gave us the tour and whatnot, I like that whole, like, how it just kind of like chilled out in the closet and whatnot. It looked like very very Batcavey. Like, here is the stash.
The library,
exactly.
as I call it.
But any like notable hauls, anything that you're proud of, that you're like super stoked that you got?
Yes, because with one more kit, I'll finally have all the Kuga stuff until later this year.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Hey, man, I didn't build anything cool until you got me to come right
Hey
now.
man, he wasn't building nothing good. I put him on, man. Hey, look, I want to hear you. I want to hear you say I put you on, man. Let him know.
Not gonna lie, yeah, but
For the
for
world to
real,
hear.
actually, I was at a build. I was at a local build event at one of my local stores, Anime Egg Roll. Which, as far as when it comes to shopping, it's like Leaping and Egg Roll. Like, it's, if I can't find an Egg Roll, I'll go to Leaping. If I can't find a Leaping, I'll check out Egg Roll, because it's just nice to have those, that kind of you can lean on one versus the other. It's always great to support your local. I'd always recommend supporting local. 10 out of 10, do that. But if you are shopping at Libby Panda, code Gunpla Stop, 10% off. Had to do the plug, guys. But oh yeah, J-Hound got me into Kamen Rider kits. I've built. There's 3 now there. All three are Kuga. There is is it Faz or Fiz?
Guys,
How do you say that? So I have Fiz and a bunch of other Kugas in the backlog. Plus Ultraman stuff, because those Ultraman kits are actually really nice. I definitely recommend, if you are feeling burnt out from Gunpla, or just like robot type, someone wants something a little more human, or something a little more humanoid, but not quite mech. The Figure Eyes line is just chef's kiss. Good stuff. Great variety. It's fun, and at the end of the day, it's like you have a figure. But anything that you picked up, Seth? Anything that you're like, ooh, yeah?
Oh man, so I picked up a few things. So one of the first ones I got that I'm really excited about was the Dispay Departure set, which is a big, like, to-go box of a bunch of tools. It's really interesting. It's got the 3.0 nippers, parts separator, the siren file, and it's all ready to go in a little box, which has been really great, because my locals have started up a build night. So it's nice to just have a box, grab it, throw it in my backpack with a kit, and just take it out the door with me. And on top of that, I want to give a big shout out to a buddy of mine, Heavy Weapon System. I've gotten into resin lately, resin conversion kits. Nothing crazy. I'm still the high grade enthusiast, as we all know. So I've been doing I've been doing some resin conversions, like the Jim Cannon. I got that, and then I had him commission a backpack for me, like a high velocity backpack. That's been really good. A new backpack for a Gym Sniper for one of my very first custom builds that I'm calling the Gym Exterminator. So a lot of hype around a lot of the resin stuff I'm doing. I'm very, very excited about that.
Hell yeah! Like that you mentioned the tools, the like the tool set because on P Bandai there was this was actually a while ago now, but they were during the peak of Witcher Mercury they were selling a tool bag that said Gundam, and I bought it just because it's a novelty. I'm like, oh, it'd be pretty cool. I never bought a novelty thing. That has been the best tool bag I've ever had in my life when it comes to build nights. I use it for my local build. I all my display markers are in there. My nippers fit in there. I have a 3D printed block that a friend of mine, Gunpla Greg, he also does pottery and stuff like that. Super cool dude. He's local to me. He printed me these bricks that fit my sand loops, sand sticks, my gun primer, glass files, a few of the display sanding sticks, and my tweezers fit in right in there real nicely. Excuse me. I'm also sick, so if I sound kind of foggy, that's why. I was just let y'all know.
All right, going around.
But hey man, whatever the hell is it? It's not COVID. I checked. It's just hey Jan, guess what? It's your turn now. So yeah, it is what it is. But
Yep.
yeah, that bag, that gunner bag is awesome. It's made of this really nice neoprene, so it feels sturdy, and the divider's buttoned on the inside, so you can actually move it if you want to. But when it comes to kits, I acquired this. You know what? I'll just grab it because it's right here. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really really proud of it. All right, buddies. Come on. Like I snagged this bad boy. I'm extremely proud of this find.
Ooh.
I am so excited to build it, and I'm probably gonna build it. I'm probably gonna end up doing a on Twitch, which I'd like to see if maybe we could if you guys wanted to just show up and we'll do a Twitch stream together and we'll just mess
That'd be
around,
cool.
do a live like a live Thunderbolt. But that's for the future.
Um,
But yeah,
yeah.
that's kind of
Just a quick note. Yeah, just a quick note. Anybody that actually wants to get that departure set, please buy it off of Amazon. I found it at a couple model shops. It was running about $60 at like Mecca Warehouse and a couple other places. I got it off Amazon for like $45. So there's a big price discrepancy. I would highly recommend go the
that is a
Amazon route.
huge price difference. 20
Yeah,
bucks.
yeah. I'm always trying to save people
Hey,
money. I'm for the
and
community.
that's what it is, man. For the
Community.
community. By the way, by this point in time in the final version, you'll have seen this glorious meme that has the man, the myth, the legend, Vin Diesel, but instead of family, it's community. So you've probably seen it like 2 times now, but hey, it is what it is. You're gonna see it more every time I mention community. That bad boy's gonna pop up.
Love it.
But yeah, it's. I mean, I'm always down to save some money. Sometimes if it's like a kind of a few bucks here and there, that's no big deal. But like massive differences like that, oh yeah, it's because it's you're playing the long game. But speaking of that, that's a great positive. That's a great positive note. Let's slide into positivity in the community.
Community.
And speaking of which, when it comes to positivity, I know there's a lot of like back and forth of like, oh my god, what Gundam series is cool, whatever. In my opinion, there's no other Gundam series that's more positive than the Build series. All four of them, plus the movies. Like Yeah, Bill Divers is kind of,
Mm.
I don't have any love for my boy Riku because he's kind of an idiot. But like when it comes to build fighters, like that's like top tier. It's a great series. It's real positive. Every character in there embodies some part of why we all got into it and why we all continue into it. So I just kind of want to go around the table and just be like, what to you like what if what positive influence from the build series do you pull? Like where do you get?
So we got to mention Meiji and Kawaguchi, right?
My boy, I was gonna leave that guy for last, man.
Right. So we can say the best for last, but
Hey, man, he's the goat.
The goat.
He's the goat.
I'm like, is that guy okay?
The goat.
Hey, man, I still remember. Not mostly. You mentioned Meiji Kawaguchi. Now I gotta mention this. Some folks out there in the community
Oh God.
say they should retire the Meiji. I humbly and very modestly and respectfully disagree.
Absolutely.
The boy's in his prime. He's in his early 20s. The man builds like the goat. He pilots like the goat. He fights like the goat. And then Build Metaverse did the ultimate tease and put him up against the champ and then cuts the series. I'm like, bro, don't retire the Meiji, bro. Don't retire the Meiji.
No, he still got much Gunpla wisdom to give, bro.
Meiji for president, baby.
Rage on.
You can't to find me another character that's not in Ace Combat that has a flamenco guitar whenever he shows up to the battlefield, and then you don't. Just
No.
saying.
It's like that music plays, it's about to go down. You hear that Spanish guitar kick in?
Bro. It's three
You know
times
it's
more
gonna be good.
passionate than ordinary flamenco. Sometimes six.
Hey, hot take. I think the three times song is better than the
Yeah,
six
yeah, because
times.
the six times,
My opinion.
it had to sound kind of dark and brooding, and it loses the fun vibe so that it can fit the dark matter. And I'm like, go back. I get it, but go back.
So I do want to throw this out there. I don't mean to like step on your toes or anything, but you said 4 build series. Are we not counting beginning G?
I always forget about that one because I've seen it once, and not that I didn't like it. It's so different from the other four. Like it's weird. It reminds me more of a yeah, as if you were going to an arcade as opposed to like because it has that. If you remember back in the day, the initial D arcade machines that you would go and you put your card in, and you had your car saved and all that stuff. That's what it reminds. It
Yep.
reminds me of these guys, except with the added bonus of hey, by the way, put on this pilot suit. But
Yeah,
oh, and here, scan your gunpla, whatever.
that
But
part is cool though.
Yeah.
that's kind of no, yeah, it's great. I honestly think that would be the closest. Well, for now, well, as we get closer and closer to scanning your kid in, but it's like beginning G. Not that I didn't mean to forget it. It's just because it's so radically different. Because there is no like staple characters that move on with you. You
Yeah.
don't have, say Mr. Say or Takeshi Iori or Rinko.
Lord, Lord.
Uh, yeah,
The Church of Rinko.
bro. Anyways, uh,
The only reason I mention it is because it came out on Blu-ray and
you
I
would
added
say
it to the
that. You would
collection.
mention that. Shit. Hey, by the way, it came out on Blu-ray.
It came out on Blu-ray. It came out with Twilight Access, and Twilight Access is 20 minutes of my life I wish I could get back. But
You're not the only
anyways,
one to say that shit. Like I saw that somewhere else, and I was like, oh
It's a
god.
6 episode commercial, but it's 6 mini episodes. So just when you start making an emotional connection to the story in the last episode, it's over.
dude, the Blu-ray got formatted like a movie, and it's you know what? We're talking about positivity. Let's get off that and let's get back to the good stuff. The build fighters. The reason we're
One second,
here.
I dial it back. Okay, so as far as like good positive tones from like the build series, the character growth and like the way that it shows that any aspect of the hobby is worth paying attention to. It even makes time for like elitist characters, like the Renato brothers. It even has some good points for them. And it's like, I mean, they build as close to realistic as they can, and it's like they even shed some light on that type of hobby. But then you get stuff like once you get the Meijin, he tells you that like he builds his kits by looking at people from different pommel hobbies. Like in the comic, he talks about looking at tank builders and seeing how they built their stuff and getting ideas for how to weather and stuff like that. Because it's like you incorporate it.
Mhm.
And so I don't know, man. It's just there's a lot to love about the build series, and it's like it's a show about us. Like nothing gets me more hyped to build than watching the build series.
And we've talked about this before. Even on our in our private VCs, whenever we're just chilling, like I'll put that in the background and just chill and build with it. Like matter of fact, there was a point where I was going through several build fighters kits, and I was like, well, I mean, as I'm building them, I have to. I put the episode that kit is in or whatever, and I'm like, screw it. Like I got to build the. I don't have to, but it's gonna get
Oh,
built.
shit.
The Fenice Renacita Liberta, the one with the bike. Yeah, I'm
Yes.
gonna put whatever, what Jim's
Yeah.
counterattack or whatever. I'm gonna put that with that kit. I'm gonna watch that while I build that kit. Then I have oh my god. Then I have the when I do the snap build plus with the Renacita Albas and the regular Fenice. Yep. Like I have this like love for that series so much that every single one of those build fighters master grades are gonna be one of these partial paints. I feel like I don't want to just snap them. Like they need a little more because there's to me it's such a positive influence because yeah, the Meiji's extra as hell, but dude, that episode, the singular episode where he was giving Yuma like advice, it like dude, that felt like he was talking to builders because not to dive into negativity, but man, there's a lot of assholes out there, a lot of assholes out there that they
Hmm.
just like, oh, why are you doing that or whatever? Like, why are you kid bashing? Like, oh, why are you not? Why are you painting a PG or I mean a P Bandai kit? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing like, dude? Last time, I used to say this a lot in the car community side of things. My boy, do you pay? Did you pay for that dude's car? Like, did you pay for these parts? Did you pay for? Oh, you did. Oh, bet. Then why the hell? Why is it your problem? Unless it's something that's like for example, unless something that it's a definitely going to be like detrimental to the operation of the vehicle. I'm like, okay, if you're giving advice or trying to help them, that's something. But if it's just you instilling your opinion on what you should, nah, man, fuck that. Stop. Like, let them live. Like, if a kid wants to put a Zaku head on I don't
Zeta.
know, on a Zeta,
Yeah.
that's
I
weird. That's
I
mean,
weird as
was
hell.
there
thinking
you go. It
Zeta.
exists.
If it, hey man, if they want to put if they want to put Wing Gundam's head on the Providence, go for it.
By the
It's
sword.
it's whatever, man. Just let
I
people do their
think
thing, man.
Yeah, I think for me, one of the biggest takeaways, and it's more geared towards the build fighters and the build fighters try series, is I'm starting to dip my toes into the realm of custom building and making designs that are uniquely mine, and the whole concept of, especially with Fellini, with the fact that his wing got broken and damaged and he repaired it, it really goes to show that just because you might mess up on clipping apart a certain way, or you might mess up on doing some kind of like modding or like clay work to it, just because you don't get it perfect doesn't mean it won't turn out in the end, because it's the little imperfections that truly make a model kit yours.
Exactly. Like, dude, I got like there's several kits that I painted that I'm just like, man, I know there's a mistake here and there, but forget it. It is what. And that's my biggest beef with Bill Divers versus Bill Fighters is like in the singular episode where Riku gets put in a Gundam battle console to go up against, what is it, the No
Yeah,
Name?
it was Tsukasa with
The
the no
Astray
name.
no name.
Yeah, the No Name Astray, and he just got destroyed, literally, and figuratively, because he was like, oh no, my God, blah blah, like all like, bro, like I'm thinking, dude, if that was Say, he'd be salivating. He's like, oh yes, I get to rebuild it, I get to do whatever. If it was Yuma, he'd be like, oh man, I'm gonna make it better. Like there was this different attitude, right? And so there's a shift because now the Gunpla is virtual. That there's no. That's where I feel the stakes disappear. It's virtual. What does it matter? Like whenever they were saying in that first episode of Divers, where they're like, oh well, if you don't build it right, Trans Am's not going to work. I'm like, why would it matter? Because the whole thing is again, it's the digital copy. Like
Exactly.
so, that's kind of where I have my. Again, it's a cartoon, it's an anime, whatever. But like that's where I'm like, okay, let's take it back to Build, because at first Build Fighters, I'm like, oh, what do you mean break your kit? You gotta do it again. Then as you go on and grow it, I'm like, oh, I get it now. All right, cool, cool.
Hmm. And that goes back to it, like learning how to repair stuff. Like a good example is I'm working on a resin conversion Gelgoog to a Regelgoog Jaeger, and in the process of disassembling it, I snapped one of the connection pieces for the leg. Like the actual ball joint itself snapped on me. So it's instead of just buying a whole new one, I learned how to fix it. You know,
Yes.
it's simple stuff like that, and it really goes back to the stakes of Build Fighters and Build Fighters Try, where when you break your Gunpla, you have to learn how to fix it. You have to learn how to improve it. That's what I really loved about it. That and what's his name that built the Try
Oh,
on
Saki
three?
Minato.
Oh man, my
Minato,
boy.
bro.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, that dude. Jan literally was him this whole past year. That man threw up an SD kit, just built it in midair so fast.
Dude. Oh my god, you're gonna laugh at this. So at the end of the year, at the New Year's Eve build contest at my local shop, they do it every year. It's typically a fun kit, so it's typically an SD. So they were like, hey, you've judged three of our contests, you get a free entry, just for participation. I'm like, all right, sure. So I participate, and when they give me the SD kit, I chuckled because I'm like, oh, of course. And I'm starting to build it, and I sometimes when you get into the zone, when you start building something, you feel yourself speed up depending on how you build, right? And that's usually what happens with me. It's like I clip when I clip everything out is to be my slow, but the slow point. As I start cleaning everything, I begin to speed up slowly, and then when I've cleaned the last piece, like glass filed it, whatever, that's where that's where the freaking for the floor, and that's like pop, 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 pop. That's when things begin to just like clip together, and it's like second nature. It's especially true of my master grade wing kits, where I've built them more than once, so it's like quick. But like I was laughing at myself because I'm like, oh man, I'm literally the GIF right now. Like, because I finished one kit, we have 4 hours, and it's to customize it, do whatever, But I wasn't gonna do it. I was just gonna hang out. So I'm like, all right, do it, display markers, and it was like, wow, I was done in like 2 hours, and that's with me slowing down. Oops, feels bad.
Suffering from success.
I mean, hey, I didn't win. I didn't
Suffering
win
from
anything,
college.
obviously, but I was just like, hey, man, I'm just here for the plastic robots and the fun times. I bought a kit there though. That day, I bought I think Seth would be really proud of me. I bought a Force Impulse, a high grade Force Impulse, strictly to paint it, only to paint it. I literally I looked at I told a friend of mine, I'm like, I only bought this because I want to paint the kit because I want to do something with it. And he's like, are you okay? Are you sick? I'm like, no. I've seen this kit. I think it looks good. I think the high grade would probably be better than the master grade. I said that shit out loud. Wow. Uh,
very
because
strategy.
the master grade, I built all the impulses. Which, speaking of which, I'm waiting for the on the blast impulse. I'm waiting for one of those for the peg on the little ball joint thing that like snap, so I can fix it with a rod because I know it's gonna snap. It did the whole like when you twist it, it like twisted with it.
Ugh.
I'm like, you know what? I'll leave you alone. Put you right there. Whatever you break, then we'll figure it out. But
Cross
yeah,
that bridge when
exactly.
we get there.
But no, yeah, the I bought the Force Impulse strictly because I wanted to like I don't know if I'm gonna paint it G3
Ooh.
colors or like something more military like or deactivated, which I don't think the Force Impulse has it deactivated. It does?
It has phase shift armor. There is a
Okay,
deactivated
cool.
version.
So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out because I like G3 colors, but I want to do something that I could like I don't know, just if I was crazy and decided to buy a backpack, or we decided to buy a Destiny high grade, I'd try and make the what's the it's white with red Destiny wings.
Is it the Impulse
I think
Blanche?
so.
I want to say it's the Impulse Blanche. There's a P Bandai Master Grade of it.
That's the last P Bandai. You know what? Let us use this new feature. Where is
We
We
have the
have the
technology.
internet.
yes?
Literally, the entire world knowledge at our
All right, here we
fingertips,
go.
and we use it to look up fun facts about silly plastic robots.
Impulse Plunge. Is there a high grade? No,
I
there
don't
ain't
think
no
it's a
high grade.
hybrid.
There is no high grade; it's only
Oh,
master
yeah,
grade.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yep, it's the Impulse Blanche.
Yeah, so
Haha.
like I might do this. I might buy a Destiny just for the backpack.
That'd be sick. Oh man, I love.
So it's still going to be different because the Blanche has different weaponry, but Gunpla is freedom, as the Meijin Kawaguchi would say.
I really like these colors.
See,
And you do you, boo
here's the
boo.
problem. I want both of these
There is no high grade.
because the
Extreme
Astray
War.
Noir. No, yeah.
But you
But I
can
want the
make it.
master grade of both because you don't master grade. But whatever. Anyway,
That's the wonderful thing about Gunpla is if it doesn't exist, you can make it, and that's very
but
build fighters.
I think honestly that's why what I do is do that like get the Destiny. Just get a high grade Destiny and just put the backpack on. I think it works,
Yeah,
right? Like the
yeah, they
backpack
work.
for the high grade Destiny. I think I've just figured out what I'm gonna do. That's what
Well, those
you
colors,
saw here,
good.
folks. You saw here.
I like the white and red in there.
But there's no Astray Noir. Or I mean, there's no Noir backpack
In high grade,
in
yeah,
high.
there is the Strike Noir.
There is a high grade
Is
Strike
it newer or
Noir.
older?
It's older. Yeah,
It's
it's
older.
before the Revive C kits. It would be HGC, the
Okay.
HG Cosmic Era.
Okay.
But don't let that scare you, fella. Be the Meijing that you truly are and make it
I
work.
thought about wearing sunglasses and sweeping my hair back today, but I was like, nah, I'm feeling sick. I'm not gonna do that today. I'll do that
Rage
eventually.
on, man.
Dude, Ray John. It's actually really funny when we decided that episode 1 was going to be the positivity of the Build Fighters series. I sat down and watched beginning G all the way to Re-Rise, like in order, and it was awesome. Like it was so much fun to sit down, and I think I understand why Build Divers get so much hate now because watching it again, it was really entertaining. Like I had a lot of fun with it because I realized that there really aren't stakes anymore. Like your Gunpla is not going to get trashed anymore. So now it's more about keeping the game going. Like this game that everybody enjoys and everybody can share their Gunpla. It's about keeping the game going. So there are stakes. Granted, if it shuts down, they can just remake it. They've already made it once. But
Exactly. That's
once you get past that, it's a fun watch. And Bill Divers Re-Rise was not as good as it was the first time I watched it.
I think there's a big plot twist.
I
I think
still
the
enjoyed
big
it.
plot twist the first time you don't know about it really enhances the experience. But if you know it's coming, it's like, okay, well, let's get to that already. But if you don't know
Yeah,
it's coming, it's like, oh my god, are you
yeah.
for real this whole time? And then like episode
Yeah,
13,
yeah. I
you
think
know what
that's what
happens in
got me about
episode
it.
13, and it's like, oh my god, they really did this. But anyway,
Hmm. But no, it was still fun to watch, and it's still interesting, especially the way oh gosh,
yep,
Hiruto, I think
Hiroto,
his name's
yep.
Hiruto. Uh, just just the amount of like ingenuity with the core Gundam and all the armors he was able to create with it is such an interesting gimmick, even for a build series where we've seen super robot esque stuff like the Tryon 3.
I think it's just the versatility of him
Yeah,
having an armor for every combat situation he can think of.
Yeah,
yeah. His
yeah, it's
like his whole
it's
arc, like
interesting.
the first few episodes, I was like, well, that's kind of wild. This dude is extremely. He's adapted basically to all of it, and I'm like, wow, that's
Realistically, when you look at his, like, if you were to break it down, and he was a real life builder and all the build series protagonists were real life builders, he has the most technical building abilities out of everybody. Like, I think he is probably the strongest builder, like, as far as that universe goes.
yeah, oh yeah, I agree. I no, I get into Riku's ass a lot because of just kind of how I don't like the way he builds. You know, like he's very much a that looks cool. I'm gonna add that, and that's it. No purpose, rhyme, or reason,
Yep.
right? Um, he's very much the rule of you know he's like newer builders. And no offense to newer builders, but it's just like the mentality of it with because this looks cool. I'm gonna add it, not because of the function of what it does. That's why I'm gonna add it. So that's where you
Yeah,
see a Hiroto is just like very much a functional reform kind of guy. The cool looks come later, but this is what it does.
but again, even Riku's approach to building of that looks cool, I'm gonna add it. That really boils down the basics of
Yep.
what this hobby is you're supposed to find joy in the art that you create, and for us, building these robots is art. Building this Gunpla is art, and he takes stuff that he likes and he makes something that he truly loves.
Exactly. Like man, I built the new Double O Diver arc. First of all,
Man, you know,
awesome kid.
Riku's in the back. Like we finally got him. Riku out here like made him proud finally.
Riku's sitting in the stands where he was in episode 3, like over here, like
I have arrived.
oh man, it was funny as hell because I think I said that to someone. I was like, you know what? His character's trash, and he's back. He's where he belongs in the stands.
Dude, it's speaking of that kid, it's really bad. The his new double O kit, like, I want to get it, but I don't want to get it for it. I want to get it because I see it and, like, I like that. I want that on this kit, or I like those arm gauntlet blades. I want that on this kit. I like that backpack. I want to take it and scrap it and
Do
build
it.
other things out of it.
So, oh yeah, 100%, man. So JHound knows this. Like the way that I build is I'll build every kit that I've customized or done something to. I've It's never been the first time I've ever touched it. When I customize a kit, I call that a victory lap. Like I do it because I've done it once already. So with the exception of the well, no, technically the crossbow is not an exception because I built a crossbow before, but there's quite a few kits out there that like matter of fact, the diver arc is a great example. I built it. I was like, you know what, this would be really 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 cool if I could take this and this and this and marry it to a command quad. I have a command quad in my backlog that's it's parts are separated and everything. It's ready to be customized. I just don't know what I wanted to do with it. So it's like, all right,
Hmm.
get another double O diver arc, and I need to get my hands on a high grade double O because I want to get the wing binders off the double O riser, and I want to use that instead of the ones from the double O diver arc. But I want the arm binders for the double O diver arc, and I want the legs for the double O diver arc. The
Hmm.
chest, Um, take it or leave it. Uh, but no, yeah, like I just you can do so much with that with any. It's funny because you can do that with any of the double O, any version of the double O Gundam. You can really just like add one one or two
Yep.
things to it. And that's it, and it still look gangster. It's looks good. It's a good looking kit.
And see, you're the exact opposite of me when I go into and granted I'm new to the customizing thing. When I go into customizing a kit, I go in with a vague idea of what I'm doing, and I kind of just hope for the
That's kind of what I've been
best.
doing.
And I can't do that.
Like a good example is the my gym exterminator. Like I went in and I knew I'm putting a new backpack on this. Well, that new backpack turned into, well, I don't like the beam sabers on that back skirt, let's put it on the leg. And that turned into, well, I want double gatling guns off the unicorn mounted under the shield. And it's one idea led to another, and the whole process I expected to go in and, I don't know, it take me a couple hours, and a couple hours turned into, I worked on this idea in this rough draft for about a week, and then I went into painting it. And I learned so much during the process of that. I learned about modification. I learned different techniques in painting, different techniques in building, and it has its flaws, it has its issues, and it's got some shoddy paint work, mostly because of me. And it is one of those kits that I am the most proud of because it's unique to me, and it's like my first design that's mine.
That's always a good feeling, man. Like, uh, not to force Jay out into the conversation, but like, dude, seeing him go into customizing now and do his own paint, like deriving his own design, deriving the look, and just really thinking about that end goal before. I don't want to say before even starting, but I'd say even after priming, or like, or because since he doesn't have an airbrush yet, he's he can't do the whole like play with primer for tone yet, because with rattle can it just doesn't, it's so much paint
Mm.
that it just doesn't work out. I tried that crap. I remember one time I was like, why isn't it working out? And I'm like, because you're blasting that thing with paint. It's like not gonna matter. But just seeing the way his thought process goes, I'm like, it's like, how was it in the movie? It's like he's learning as he fights.
Must have studied how to use his primer.
Must have studied how to use his power.
But yeah, man, like I've been
Not by Sabbath.
customizing a bit. I'm almost done with like my first ever custom paint from like a 1980s Votoms kit that like came assembled in like two colors and needed glue for assembly. But like I'm almost done with that. I gotta like glue some stuff in there and paint the pilot, and then go over the gun with the wooden deck tan, I think, one more time, and then we'll be good. And like basically, yeah, just glue the cockpit and whatnot into the like the seat for the cockpit into the robot's like chest cavity, and then we'll be good. And oh yeah, panel line and decal and top coat, all that. But like I'm almost at the finish line, and it's been like been working on it for a while because like problems arise and you have to fix those, and then like get back to it. It's
Yeah.
like at one point I thought I had it masked off, but the tester's black paint leaked under the masking tape, and I'm like, hey y'all, I don't know about testers because I know. I remember you said like you wouldn't put it on your kit, and I'm like, well, it was there. I could try to see what it's like, and I used the same techniques I would use with like a Tamiya can, and it was runny. And I'm like, bro, it ran all down the spoon. I'm like, I don't understand this. I was like, did I do something wrong? So
Yeah.
then I didn't heat up the can,
Test.
and then it worked normally. But I don't like the simulated metal flake that they have from like 1960s, 30s cars and stuff like that. I don't dig that for a mobile suit. So I'm gonna buy a car model kit and use it on that so it'll look right. But I'm almost to the finish line for my custom paint job. I started my first like actual kit bash custom with the Gelgook GK. So I got the Zagok E arm on there. Tori helped me putty a visor for him. So like I got the high grade backpack. We're gonna like drill in some propellant tanks. Gonna have them looking right. But after that, we're gonna paint them up. Well, what happened? Where we at? I like glued some new boosters on the legs, and then I had to use some sprue goo to like stop the gap up, and then sand that down smooth so it'll look right when I paint it. But yeah, man, we moving. Two customs in.
We,
Dude, I've absolutely loved like the work in progress pics you've been posting and getting the behind the scenes on that build. I've absolutely loved that. And I don't know why, like that stupid little meme just popped into my head of we're Gunpla builders. We get excited watching other people work on stuff.
Bro, it's like I've never seen people before I started this hobby to where it's like, hey guys, and somebody will post a picture and it's like an arm that's like been scribed or something, and we're just like, plastic.
it's like
That
how,
good
how does
stuff.
how does how
Look
does
at the detail
how
he
does
added.
Codename Super do it? Mm.
But and that's another thing, man. Speaking about the positivity, like getting to watch like work in progresses come together for other people. Like I don't know about y'all, I get hyped about that. Like I love seeing somebody take something from the box, customize it, finish painting it, like the whole process in general. Because we all do the same thing. We might have different ways of going about it, but at the end of the day, we're taking something from a box, literally it's plastic that's been molded into individual pieces, and we're coming out with one final result. And whether that's straight out the box, which is perfectly fine, or something that somebody spent an entire year building, it doesn't matter. Watching work in progress, even if it's just snap build, is
I agree.
exciting to me.
Oh yeah, I 100% because I've spoken to other builders who like it's no stranger to the fact that I snap build a lot. Like that's the primary thing that I do. But there's a joy behind it because it's just like you see completion, you get that serotonin, that dopamine hit of like yes, I finished the thing. And I feel that there's a lot of problem. Not I don't want to call it a problem. I'd say more of an assumption from people in the hobby that hey, you need to move at the same rate as everybody else. Builder A started snap building. At this point, 3 months later he was painting. 3 months later he was scribing. 3 months later he was doing scratching. No, like that rate is different for everybody. So like, whereas the entire time I've known J Hound, I've gone from snap building, rattle can, air booth, kind of move back to snap building some more. But now I'm kind of in this nice little 50-50 where I finally found my balance. In that entire time, he like you didn't start. You had just started the spray painting. Like everybody has a different rate. Everybody has it's whenever that I want to say that that itch for everybody is different. It starts at a different point. And so, he got to the point where he's like, I built quite a bit of kits, and I have this imagination. I have this thought that I want. I have this thing that's in my mind that I want to put into physical space. I have the parts to do it. My skill may not be there yet, but I want to get there. So let me start. What's a gamer way of saying? Let me start grinding for XP. Get out there, use them points, level up, and do it. And then you've got a great group of people to not to toot our own horns, but I think in between Seth and I, and then all the other folks in our group, it's a good sample of the population and the community that you can gauge. Like, okay, so where's a good starting point for this? What should I get for that? If I wanted to rattle can, which one should I go with? Lacquer versus acrylic, or what kind of decals are good? G Rework or Delphi or Simpro or Bandai. Never Bandai. They're just really thin and they break apart. If you ever mess with them, you'll know why. But there's a lot of I think people have this thought in their head that we're all moving at the same rate. It's like, nah, man, it's a hobby for everybody. It's a regardless, so my only preachy time I want to say is, regardless of what people's opinions are of things, it's a hobby for everybody to enjoy, to
Mm-hmm.
escape. Shit.
Yep.
It's the whole like,
And
just let,
the best example of that really does come from Build
yeah.
Fighters, or
Yes.
Build Fighters Try, and it's the straight built episode with the
Oh
Destiny
God,
Gundam,
that he's my
and
boy.
that's dude, such a good episode, and that straight built Destiny Gundam was going toe to toe with something that was customized by Sei
He was
Iori.
giving, hey man, that Destiny Gundam was giving old the build strike the 2-piece dude. He was giving that boy 2-3-piece
Yeah,
combos easily, and it's like, damn, dude. And it's like, oh my God, he's snap build. I'm like, ooh shit.
Right.
yeah.
The
Well,
reason
no,
sorry,
go
the
ahead.
reason why Shimon was using a snap built kit is so endearing as well, because his little brother made it and he wanted to make him happy while he was in the hospital recovering from being sick.
Yeah,
And he wanted to show his little brother that his
And like,
snap built kit was worth
and
something.
like what better example, honestly?
I'm
Like,
telling you, and it goes back to, like, just because you see all these people that make these incredible, like, world level kits, like GBWC kits, like, just because you see people building those, they started exactly where you are, pulling plastic out of a box, snapping it together, and moving on. Like, everybody started there. Everybody starts with snap building. And if that's where you're at right now, that's perfectly fine. If you have an idea in your head that you want to bring to life, you got to start somewhere. And if that's just swapping a Zaku head onto a Zeta, that's where you
hey,
start.
but having a collector's mind, it's like, hey, boom, I have the double Zeta lineup right there, boom, Zaka. Or hey, you can go and get more Mara size, Zaka with a hat. It is what it is, man.
Yep.
I like that.
And a big thing that I do want to throw out there, because we keep using this term community,
Community.
that if you don't know where to start, even if you're just on Instagram, if you don't know where to start, like, reach out to somebody, reach out to me, reach out to Jan, reach out to Jay, anybody that you know that does something, reach out, because 9 times out of 10, we're gonna try to help
Yep.
you. That's just what we do.
I have a really really. I'm not gonna lie. This is one of the more uplifting, like, small story when it comes to reaching out to those that you look up to, and it turned out very positively. So if you've been in the hobby for any length of time, you know who, like, the big customized builders are. Like, just because it's part of the story. Otaku Builders, one that I look up to a lot. Granted, his skill level is like out there versus where I'm at. Right, I mean, he's gone. But just because someone's skill level is so far beyond yours doesn't mean that you can't take cues from their builds. Like, for example, I built my what I call my singularity. It's called Singularity One, my Masquerade Unicorn, and I built it strictly to remain in unicorn mode, and I built it in the Masquerade. Use the Masquerade size. I mean, everything is painted on that thing, and it was a labor of love. But I used Otaku Builder's PG unicorn as cues as to how I was going to color separate mine, because I'm like, okay, and plagiarism, not plagiarism. What's it called? Something is the best form of flattery.
Yeah.
Imitation is the
Yeah.
best form of
There you go.
flattery.
Imitation, best form of
So,
flattery.
yeah, but plagiarism. I did copy his color palette though. What I did was I took his color palette and I turned it like 3 or 4 shades lighter, because he used black on a few parts and I didn't use black at all. So,
He
like,
used what?
where he used black. This man sneaks up the cover. He used what? He's black now. For context, that's a comment said in the Common Writer
Right.
series. But because he's in a
Yeah.
black suit now.
His name is Black. Like Tom Rider Black.
Black. But where I looked at his color palette, I looked at the way that he did his color separation. I'm like, you know what, I want to use that for my unicorn, and I did. And when I finished it, it was like this big achievement, especially because unicorn is one of my favorite kits to build. I don't know why, it just happens to just be that way. I messaged him and I'm like, hey, just want to let you know your PG unicorn build motivated me and was a big inspiration for this build. You don't have to message me back. I just want to say thank you for for doing what you did, for doing your build, and for allowing people to kind of take notes off your build. He messaged me back. He commented on the picture, and it was a very very cool exchange. Saying like, "Oh no problem." Like it was really it gave me hope because it's like if someone at that skill level took the time to speak to some, because at the time I think I had less than half of the followers that I have now, and it was this really cool exchange, and it made me feel really good about myself, and it made me feel really good that so a builder I looked up to decided to take the time to say to interact with another builder. It was great. I loved it, and I still hold it really close near and dear. So much so that I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to build another unicorn, customize it and paint it because I'm a glutton for punishment. It'll be the Banshee, a little edgy, but yeah,
Dude, and that's so funny because when I first got into airbrushing, I found Otaku Builder's videos and I reached out to him to ask him about his equipment and he messaged me back and it was awesome. And I found out through messaging him that he used the same airbrush and the same compressor that I use, and he was using the exact same paint that I use. And it really boils down to, and I cannot say this loud enough, your name brand tools don't mean anything. That man was using $100 air compressor and a $30 airbrush, literally 35.99. And we probably exchanged for 20 minutes. He's one of the coolest guys out there. But again, the fact that he just took that time to talk me through some of the issues that I was struggling with the same equipment he was using was phenomenal.
exactly, man. Like, dude, like when Jayhan wanted to get into spray cans and rattle cans, I had already like moved on, but in between myself and Gunpla Luke, who Gunpla Luke still uses rattle cans, here and there, we were able to kind of point him in the right direction on, hey, this brand, these colors. Uh, if you want to do something else, like if you want to not use those brands, you can also kind of mess with acrylic a little bit for these. There was just like it's almost like here's the menu, take your pick. But it was never from a point of like because look, anybody who knows me knows that I love lockers. I use lockers for everything because there's a much larger selection and they're more versatile. They're less problematic on your airbrush, et cetera, et cetera. And if you have a proper ventilation system for it, go for it. But not everybody has that, and so you kind of work with what you got. So like all that being said is definitely leverage the try to network and try to meet those people that can help you point you in the right direction. That don't be afraid to ask questions. That's another big thing. And like another interaction that I had with another person in the hobby, he again, I preface this with I'm here to hobby. I'm here to build robots. I'm here to build plastic robots. I'm here to do plastic robot things with my plastic robot friends. And sometimes some people feel some type of way about who you talk to. Hey man, look, for my Cerulean project build, I reached out to Hayden over at Midwest Hobby and Craft. God, I can't English today. And he is, in my opinion, when it comes to color matching, when it comes to getting a color palette, the dude is really, really good at it. Gifted, I would even say, because we spent 20 to 25 minutes just trying to find four colors for contrasting purposes and for like and colors that I can also play with using different primers. So if I use a pink primer, black primer, gray primer, white primer, and get to give contrast, and that way it turns my four colors into 12 colors. So it's this command of the color wheel, and it's like, why? Hey man, the dude knows his stuff, right? And on top of that, now I'm using Splash more often than Hobby Neo, and it's just like understanding the different the different brands and like what what you can do with whatever. And it's just I wouldn't have had that knowledge had I not had that exchange, and now I do.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, this build, this last build, the ground Gundam for Solar Project was the best application of camo that I've ever done. There's no hard line where the masking was. There's no like bleeding or anything. It was just very well done, and it was because of all that advice I was given before I did all the painting. It's just like sometimes you got to reach out to folks. Right? Just got to talk to people, communicate,
In the community.
socialize.
Yep. On the other hand of that, you can reach out to somebody like me who is actually red
Hey,
green colorblind. So all of my work is either like recreating out of box colors, or if you ever look at any of my custom build work, like my paint schemes are all over the place because I have no mastery of the color wheel because I can't see half the colors
Which is
in it.
wild because there's one time I sent him like a freaking like a week like a meter saying like a BS meter, and he was like, "Hey, that bad boy need to be red." And I was like, "How the hell did you know that was red? Thought you were colorblind. This is sus. Are you lying?"
Like I can see colors. It's just the colors I see aren't the ones that you see. So I physically cannot have a mastery over the color
Which
wheel.
is insane.
So you can sit here and talk color theory to me, but
Exactly,
it means
which is
nothing.
insane to be in a hobby like this where it's like, "Hey man, I need to come up with a color palette for my kid. Oh, by the way, I don't see colors. So do
right.
you."
I don't see color.
Like that's insane. I don't.
Like
Oh
the
shit.
dark dagger is just as important as the
We
dagger
might
L
have
to
to
me.
edit
And what
just
did
like
we?
that. It's supposed to be an episode of positivity, and we're
What,
banned.
I'm not gonna. Oh my god. The black dagger.
Oh my god.
Boy. Oh boy.
But well, really, I think what we're all trying to say is whatever your skill level is, like work in your skill level. Like if you're snap build to the best of your ability. If you're rattle canning, then learn everything you can about rattle can until you're ready to step up to airbrushing. And airbrushing opens a million doors of whether you want to work with like acrylics or lacquers or enamels. It like you have so many options, and like I have a ventilation system. Like my spray booth points out of a window, and I still choose to use acrylic paint, which surprises a bunch of people. But every once in a while, I still take a step back. Like on my recent Hyakushiki build right here, this gold is a spray can gold because I wanted to remind myself where I came from. I used to rattle can, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with rattle canning. You're gonna get a great result if you learn how to rattle can properly.
Exactly. Because like, and I remember you and I were talking about that color because you were trying to find a gold that because like I don't know why, but I like gold. Um, but like I have four or five different golds in lacquer, and when I did rattle cans, I had three or four different golds that I used to lean on typically. One of my favorite golds in rattle can was Champagne Gold by Tamiya. It's
Yep.
beautiful because it's just smooth. It's it's not an abrasive or a shocking gold, right? The regular gold from Tamiya, I'm not a big fan of. The regular now the metallic gold from Tamiya, that is nice. So if you're able to do a contrast with like the champagne and the metallic, wow, dude, beautiful, perfect. But like, and I literally like it's funny because when you were talking, I was reaching out to a friend of mine, BA Gunpla on Instagram, because he had done a kit bash with using the Destiny, using the Force Impulse body, Destiny backpack, but without the wings. And and I was gonna ask him, I'm like, hey, I think because we're we're thinking about doing like a partner build. Like we're gonna do a few kits at the same time, and one of them is the Grams Furca, the other one is the like another high grade. So it's just kind of one of those like, hey man, do you happen to have that backpack still? You got them spare parts? But again, reach it out to folks you know, talking to people. Just
But I for one,
it doesn't. It also helps he's local to
oh
me.
my bad, man. Oh,
Go
sorry, I
ahead.
was just gonna say, like, I for one, like, as far as reaching out, I enjoy helping people. I enjoy pointing people in the right direction for like information, products. Like sometimes I'll be minding my own business and see somebody ask for something, and I'm like, did I see that in stock somewhere? And I just go look for it. And I'm like, wait, I was doing something else. I got distracted. But it's like, I will help people out, just because. It's like I will give you correct information just because. It's like I don't know, man. I just like interacting with people. I like talking to people who enjoy the hobby that I enjoy.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and that's part of it. You spread that because when you do that, it's also it's positive engagement. Positive motivate. You motivate these people to want to continue and want to do more and improve because it's like, hey, that one guy that like, dude. Anytime I see a family or a parent at my local and their kids are starting out building this stuff, or they're looking at SDs, or they're looking at they're looking at high grades or whatnot. Like where, like matter of fact, there was a guy he was traveling through. I think he was in his mid 40s. He had started doing traditional models. He had gone to a IPMS show somewhere where they had Gunpla, and he was like, "Man, these are interesting. I kind of want to try them out." He's like, "What are two good kits to start out with?" Now, that's a loaded
Yeah,
question.
it's a big answer if you let it.
So yeah, right. And I asked him, "What scale are you want to look for?" He's like, "Well, I don't want to do a master grade because I want to just paint something. I want to just kind of." And I'm like, "Well," so I literally move him from the master grade and real grade wall. I'm like, okay, let's go to high grades, and it went to the whole. Well, we got and all in the first part of like the way it's organized, it goes like high grade the origin, high grade revives, bill fighters, and then like older high grade seed and double O kits, right? So like I told him, if you want a genuine like first timer experience, you can't go wrong with the high grade origin grabs. Period. Right? And he's like, but I also like the curves of the Zaku's, and I'm like, high grade the origin Zaku 2. Perfect kit. Has really good lines, panel lines real nicely, builds real well. If you didn't want the excessive lines, you could just get the Revive Zaku 2. It has a rubber skirt, so if you wanted to paint, it can be a little bit of a hassle. So like,
It has a choice. It has an option.
Hmm.
You can use that one. Yeah,
exactly,
yeah. You can
exactly.
use that one, or you can use a solid.
But it's that whole like when you get asked something like that, like what's a good kid to start? It's like, ooh, buddy, that's a rough question to ask. That's a really really hard question to ask because I still remember my first uh 007, my first Gramps that I ever built was the Master Grade New Origin Gramps. That's how I started with Gramps, and I liked it. Liked it enough that I kept going. But it's just like when someone asks you something like that, like, oh, like where should I? It's really hard to fill that void because it's, you don't know what their taste is like. You don't know if like, dude, I love double O kits. I think they're the best looking master grades out there. Period. Like best looking master grades to build to snap build, and you leave alone the lines, the panel lining, the cardstory, the plastic material, like everything just looks great. The Dynamis, insane.
That one was held as the best for a
That's
while.
just like my opinion, man.
I
What?
was just saying the Dynamis was held as the best for a while. Like when I got started, like people were talking about, hey man, the Dynamis is like the master grade for like all I heard was like Dynamis or Gem Sniper 2 for a while. So I think that answer also changes depending on when you get started too.
Exactly. Like, man, I used to be a big real grade hater, huge real grade hater, huge.
You
Like, oh my god, dude. I remember my Mobile Suit Black Man. He was shilling real grades, hardcore. That was his grade. That's his thing. and I miss his videos because they were just like so chill. But like he would, that's what he would promote. And I'm like, dude, they suck. I can't stand it because the thing is, I started with real great grabs, and that thing is a piece. Like, never have I wanted to throw a kid against the wall more than that. And I still, and I, dude, to this day, I will not build another
You
real great
sure?
grabs, regardless of the covers. Oh,
Oh,
100%. Yeah, not doing it. I'm not doing it. But yeah, it's like, nah, dude. But I gave it another shot. I did the real great Xeon. I did the new high new, which the high new was like the kit for like a hot minute. The Sazabi, yeah, then I finally built the real great unicorns, and I'm like, wow, these are better than the master grade. Holy crap! Who would have thunk it? But yeah, positivity in the community, man.
You know, when it comes to that, in the whole like reaching out to people, like if I had never reached out to anybody, the three of us would not be sitting here doing this podcast right now. Like if we hadn't reached out and formed our own little group because we were so willing to help each other, we wouldn't be here right now doing
Yeah,
this.
because like it goes, it's as basic as, hey man, it's a good looking build, or hey, I noticed that you're really good at finding hard to find kits, or
Mm-hmm.
uh, what's your experience with this retailer, or like, it starts off small and then it just compounds and builds, and you really develop that network. Like in my local community, uh, I uh, I try to help folks find hard to find things because JHound did that for me for a while. And like, for example, I sold the Gundam based mobile suit cage to another local kid, and somebody else was interested in it, and they're like, "Man, had I known, I would have done it, and I would have bought it off you." And I'm like, "Don't worry, I'll find another one for you." And I found one, damn near the exact price that I was selling it for.
nice.
So I was like, that worked out perfectly. Stuff like that, like
Yeah, I mean, it's
stuff
easy to
like
get
that.
started talking to people about it. Like, I mean, not for everybody, because people have different, I guess, like comfort levels. But I feel like, of course, it's better to talk to people that are doing the same thing you're doing because you might learn something. Like, if you talk to me, and it's like you learned about there's actually like more than 20 Goku variants that I can tell you about, like Goku's.
No
Yeah.
way,
And
no
then,
way.
I ask you stuff like, name your top 10 mobile suits in no particular order. And then we have a good conversation to get started on. I have a foundation for what's your tastes, or if you have taste. No, I'm playing. But of course, like if I see a Gogu or like the O on that list, I'm like, oh, okay, here we go, yo, we're in. But yeah, jokes aside, it's fun to talk to other people and just help each other and get started and gossip about Gundam because we all love the hobby.
Exactly. And like, even the folks that don't watch the anime, or that don't really watch the animes as a whole, and just like to build, hey, this is your
Yeah,
space. Like, I have this habit of, I won't build the suits until I've watched the show. I don't
can't
know
do it
why,
every
it's just
time
kind of
though.
been the way that I go. Exactly. Like with eight Gundam Age is a great example. I built an ass ton of age kits well before I started watching the show, and a small part of me is a little sad about that, because had I known the H2 was going to be as badass as it was, I'd have been like, man, it would have been sick building that thing. Like,
All right, hold on, everybody. I'm gonna look directly into my
And
camera. Gundam Age is not that bad. People give it a hard rap because of the way it looks like it's designed for kids, even though it has similar story concepts as regular Gundam. It has the same dark, mature fare as the Gundam that we've always seen. Gundam Age is not that bad. It's just a little rushed because they tried to do three shows in one. That is all.
yeah, we'll do a PSA. We'll do like a day, like a per podcast episode, a J Hound's PSA, or from the desk of Jhound.
Hey man, look, I just want people to give it a
Whole
try,
source of that.
like that and Gundam X. But that's a different topic. It's just you are missing out if you have not watched Gundam X. I know you're eventually gonna get to it because you prefer
Yeah.
like having the dub stuff in the background so you can like still get the show and do other stuff. But yeah, like
I'm
recommend it.
not. I'm about halfway. I'm about halfway through X. I'm like I always go back and
This guy.
like I feel where I like where I would like leave off is always right after like right around the new type dolphins part.
People have trouble with that. There we go.
That's the little guy. Oh,
Yeah,
converge.
hey man. You know what? Speaking of Gundam X, Bandai, please, high grade, Vertigo, please, thank you. That's it.
It wouldn't be hard. It wouldn't be really hard to make one because honestly, I mean, I know that they're kind of like niche designs and whatnot, but it's not that far from the Gerbera
Bro,
Tetra.
like all you gotta do is like Gerber Tetra, like okay, so Gerber Tetra, Michaelis, a little bit of sprinkler cubulate. That's it.
Little sprinkle of
Yeah.
Quibbly.
Ah,
Yeah.
Quibbly,
Quibbly.
Man,
Quibbly.
Quibbly sound. Every time I see it, I'm like, is that Gundam from Australia? Is that Mobile Suit from not Gundam? Is that Mobile Suit from Australia?
Quibbly.
Sounds like, hey, sink it, yeah.
Dude, the Gundam universe, the UC
I'm
timeline
saying, bro,
hates
it's not
Australia.
even
Bro,
just
they gotta
it's not even
they.
just UC anymore.
It's not even GC. It's everybody. They got beef. I don't know what. I think they're like,
Gotta be
hey, there's some really wild creatures in Australia. Just take it out.
I mean, to like, if you look around, God does not want people to live in Australia, but they do anyway. Like,
no,
there's so much shit there.
no. They have like spiders that are like 2 foot across. They're called hunter spiders. I already have arachnophobia. Like, dear
Bro.
lord.
So when I was playing, oh my god, I really wish I would have streamed it because I know some folks have some feelings about Hogwarts Legacy, but dude, the spiders in that game, man, dude, I think I was on one of you guys, and I was just playing, and I was like screaming, and I'm like like because this big, there's a oh my god, I forgot what they're called, but there's a side quest that there is an even bigger one that you haven't seen yet, dude. I was tense is putting it nicely. Like I was like, oh, like hell no, dude. Like negative goes right. And then I found out that there's an arachnophobia mode where all the spiders get like roller skates and they're like slipping and shit. I'm like, it's a deep cut to I think the third movie, Prisoner of Azkaban. Whenever they teach you the spell of
Yes.
ridiculous, and the spiders just like, and I'm just
Ridiculous.
like, man, I can't play it because I can't play it like that because that's kind of a joke. I need a it's a digital spider, man. I'll be fine. I was
Nope.
not fine, but like, but no, yeah, man. Like when I was in Afghanistan, dude, we had camel spiders, man. Fuck those things. No,
I remember I played a game.
that thing doesn't
Oh,
look like
sorry.
it, dude. It doesn't look like it belongs on this planet.
Oh,
I'm not gonna pull up a pic. I'm not gonna pull up a browser and pull up a picture. I didn't
no,
do
it's
that to
cool.
you.
It's cool.
Don't worry about that. Google that on your own time.
Yeah. So this just hit me since we're talking about it.
Yeah,
Positivity and
yeah.
everything. Midwest Hobby and Craft. Midwest Hobby and Craft. I got this neat little LED thing that's just like hashtag builders supporting builders, and like this stays on my desk all the time, especially when I'm building. Like I love this very much, and you can also have one of your
Well,
own at Midwest Hobby and Craft.
I have mine. I have mine says just build it.
Just build it.
And my speed, which I need to upload this reel. I have a you can barely see it, but there's like a red light right here. It's an acrylic etch of a unicorn Gundam from Fall Dog Hobbies, and it's nice, man. I like it a lot. Like, and I put it with my unicorns up there, just like, hey, enjoy.
You gotta put it with
There
the
we go with
corns.
turns. But yeah, man, just I just I think that if anyone takes anything from this, it's just as as my boys Bill and Ted would say, just be excellent to each other.
Just
Just
be
be
excellent to
excellent
each
to each
other.
other, man. Like there's no it's building plastic robots, man. It's still taking so damn serious.
There's no right or
Right.
wrong way to do it.
Now, granted, don't go biting a part off a runner though. You know, let's be
Yeah,
reasonable.
like within
But
reason. Within reason.
within a reason,
I would say the way you know, or your way, is not the only way. Let's say that.
exactly.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, buddy, I was wondering when he was going to show up.
Hey, is that Louis?
It's Louis.
Him,
Look at Louis.
Oh,
little furry man.
he's purring hard right now. Oh my gosh, what a big boy. But no, yeah, man. Like, so let's. Any other thoughts before going to close? Before we go into any releases or reprints you're looking for?
Let's
Any
see,
other thoughts on the topic?
really. Oh, you know what? So since we're talking about just Plamo in general and stuff, Ultraman Jack cannot get here quick enough. I want that so bad. That will restart me going back to the Ultraman kits because I have Taro from the Netflix series. I have Taro, and then I have Ultraman Z just because he looks cool. And when Jack comes out, I'll be like, okay, let's get the team.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. I built suit B or suit B or suit A. I built
Seiji?
that one. I built Taro. Your boy, the
Oh
one
yeah,
boy.
Seiji. That's suit A because he's Ace. He's Ultraman Ace.
Yeah, yeah. So suit A, I built Taro. Two of my boy Dan Moroboshi. Um, and then yeah, so I have Zafi and I have suit B in the backlog. And then when Jack arrives, the only other one that we'll be missing is I forget what the girl's name is.
Reina, I think. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Reina. Yeah, I was missing. We'd be missing Reina, and then when they ever come out, if they ever were to come out with the season finale, that'd be great.
bro. If they make Bemular too, I wouldn't be mad.
Bro, I'd be a straight asshole, and I'd pose them like I'd pose final series, final this is the finale suit like this on Baby Lars
No,
face.
hold on. Bemular is the other guy that's like an Ultraman. You talking about Ada?
Oh, my bad. Yeah. No, Baby Lars looks sick as hell. Yeah, my bad. I got confused.
And say, well, yeah, Ado. Like, if they come out with him, bro, I'm posing you getting worked. I'm sorry. Okay.
It doesn't matter. What you are is a dead man. My boy, you should have said that earlier. Should have said that full 30 minutes earlier when you were working, boy, but not now. Not now. Because you look like
You
a
know,
fool.
the one's winning. What could ever happen? Oh, wait, hold on. What is that? Is that? Oh, they're playing the Heroes theme song. It's a wrap. Let's wrap it up, people. He's not winning today.
I love hearing that. It's just like, my boy, that's not your song. That's not your theme music that's playing right now. That's mine.
Like,
We know what's going to happen. The show's not called Ito. It's called
I was about to
Ultraman.
say, bro, you see the
Let's
director
figure
put his
that out.
arm around him. Hey, bro, look, you're getting a little bit too big for your britches. This show is called Ultraman. It's not called Edo. It's not called Seton
It's
either. You know.
exactly. It's like when my Xeon folk get a little too hyphy, and I'm like, my boy, it says Mobile Suit Gundam.
Oh, is that not
Yeah,
Neon? Is that
that
not
that's
them?
all.
Oh, is that why they're
Oops.
not winning? But anyway, let's say, Seth, are you excited for anything coming out? Not the Go Goog Miss.
As the resident seed stand, I am very much excited about the Immortal Justice and Rising Freedom, and I'm just going to pretend like they don't have flight forms because it's stupid. I'm probably going to pick up the Gelgoog Menace and do some custom work on it. Because it's so close to being a good design. It just
I
needs a little
I'm doing the
TLC.
same thing. I'm not gonna go into the rant. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
And uh, I'm also really excited about the high grade
Oh, I
Destroy
forgot about
Gundam
that.
coming
That's gonna
out.
be huge,
That thing's a whole unit.
huge, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm very much excited about that.
Hey,
So
you should
like,
recreate the SD Gundam Battle Lines opening to where it's like Master Gundam with 3 destroyers behind him, and then Burning Gundam and a Destiny above him. You could do that. Especially
So thank you for reminding me because I do have a P Bandai Maxter Gundam on the way, set to ship February 2nd to go along with my Rose Gundam, and I just got a God Gundam for Christmas to go along with my Shining Gundam, Master Gundam, Noble Gundam. If it's G Gundam,
they
your
need to
boy's probably gonna get it. I'm just waiting for Tequila Gundam
hopefully.
and our Lord and
I
Savior
don't know
Nether
about
Gundam.
that. I think we need to like stay within our means on that. Like Bandai's like, hey man, I don't know. I got it though. I'm not gonna lie, I got it.
Listen. If it doesn't exist, make it yourself.
like so it's funny you mentioned the new seed releases. I for some reason I am like I'm actually really excited for both Atherin and Kira suits. I have this sinking feeling that there likely will be a version of the Destiny or Impulse. Well, there is another version of the Impulse that's coming out.
There's another Impulse, but it's a real grade and
Yeah,
only a real
Impulse
That's
grade.
Spec
wild.
2. It's like it's just a real great Impulse, but kind of like different colors and a bit different molding, but that kind of not really. That's it.
It's
Yeah,
got like extra panel
Huh.
lines.
Okay, but like yeah, I know some people are like really. Ooh, excuse me. They're a little like upset about the sticker count and all that stuff. Like, hey, I get it, but hey, you know what? It's a high grade. It's under $25. What more do you want? You know, like
Look,
it's a high grade.
unfortunately, stickers come with the territory of
and being
being
cheap.
a high grade
Like,
and being cheap. Like you can get three things. You can get good, fast, and affordable, and you can only pick two of them.
That's a constant theme of the car side of things. It's a good. What is this? It's cheap, reliable, and fast when building a car.
There you go.
You
There
can
you
only
go.
have one. You can
That's
have
what I
only
meant to say.
if it's fast and you want it reliable, it won't be cheap. If you want it
Yep.
cheap and reliable, it won't be fast. Like
Nope.
if it's you want it fast and cheap, it's not going to be
mm,
reliable. So it's like yeah, take
Yep.
what you can. Man. Like but like dude, yeah, the Immortal Justice and the Rising Freedom. I don't know, man. I'm like really stoked for them. Like, I like the way they look. Uh,
They look
I
good.
think I'll give credit to having built this like a few days ago. I really like it.
It's a good kit.
I really like it. It's gonna go on the meteor unit that I have over here. Thanks, Kirk. Uh, but because the meteor unit has the old freedom, and I'm like, ugh. But oh yeah, actually, yeah. Between that, I cannot believe you guys haven't mentioned this one yet. But I am super stoked for the Master Grade Vercon narrative.
Ooh.
oh yeah, that's not a me thing. That's why I didn't mention it. But like, all you.
Like, dude, that the new. I don't care what people are like. Oh, I can't believe they're doing this. And I'm just yes, sandwich parts, layered, less stickers. And it's Vercon. Sign me up. We're good.
Dude, and not to mention, it probably has the coolest Universal Century core fighter ever.
The little wing, the narrative. Hell yeah.
Yeah, like the just the core fighter in that kit just looks
I
so
think you
good.
get two with it. I think you get two.
I might have to get that kit.
Hey man, I'm super excited for it. I'm pumped. I can't wait to for it to arrive. I mean, well, for it to be out there because it won't be till like April or May or something like that. Well, probably for us it's gonna be May, but yeah, I mean, I'm for it. Like that, those four kits are like what I'm looking forward to the most. There are a few that I've that I ordered on P Bandai that I'm kind of looking forward to, but like really, honestly, yeah, I'm actually kind of excited for the real type color Freedom and Justice. And the lover of gold in me is really looking forward to the Hyakushiki Kai. Yeah, the Hyakushiki Kai.
It's the Kai.
But then yeah, you have the Epion, Sturm and Drang and stuff like that, and some of the Bill Fighter stuff that I ordered. But and the high grade Tri
Ooh.
Age.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I showed Tori that. I was like, man, look at this Yu-Gi-Oh Gundam. Well, I already had the card out, but not.
But yeah, like
Oh, almost forgot. Gundam Char's Counterattack Beltorchica's Children Volume 2. That's coming out soon. I'm very hyped about that. I am loving that manga so far.
I was about to say, I was like, for those of you at home, it's a manga, not a DVD.
Yeah, it's paper and words and
Another
pictures.
form of physical media.
Yeah, because your boy collects manga too. That's why my closet is referred to as the library.
But yeah, like no, I think that's a good all around good selection of like things to look forward to. I'm excited. I think that all in all, it's gonna be a good year. This will be a good year to like for changes. Like I'm gonna paint a little more often. May not be full paints, but I'm gonna paint a little more often. Uh, Seth is like you're diving in headfirst into resin conversions, even if they're just like the 3D printed stuff. It's still, hey man, and our boy Jayhound
Got to
here.
start somewhere.
You're doing custom kits now. You're doing your first steps into the custom world. I'm happy for you, dude.
It's rewarding and fun so far.
Just yeah, I really just I like showing people because if I can do it, you can do it. Like really, that's what it boils down to. If I can do any of this, you can probably do it better than me.
Man, I see your kits in person, man. Don't cut yourself too short.
Hey man, like the for real Meijin Kawaguchis looked at your work, man.
Yeah, yeah. Especially this past year, because the whole locally second place GBWC placard that's behind
Wink,
me.
wink.
I don't have a cert, but I do have the pin.
Hey, remember it was just locals. It was just locals.
Man, I'm excited, and that's another thing too. Like I'm excited to I'll probably build something specifically for GBWC this year. I might actually make a base for it this time, which something I didn't do last time. So I
Ooh.
might slowly build to something better. But with that being said, any closing thoughts? Any happy to be back. Happy to get the ball rolling. By the way, we're gonna start off monthly for now, just because personal schedules and gives things time to bake. This is by no means a comment to any other publication out there, but like we really want to foster positivity and foster the overall just a good feeling of what like the good of the hobby, like the escapism of it, like what it means to you, and you pull away from the real world and you're able to relax and just kind of kick your feet up and do the plastic and really kind of get your mind off things and kind of so you can recover. Because hey man, the work week sucks. Sometimes it sucks, sometimes it's good. Depends, but this is your retreat. That's what we're here for, to kind of, I don't know, just to be that voice in the background for you guys, just to kind of listen to a couple nerds talking that crap and like, man, this guy doesn't like freaking Seed. What a ridiculous. Let it be known, I don't hate Seed. I actually watched it. It's not bad. It has its issues. No Gundam series is perfect. Wait, okay, no Gundam. Yeah, none of them are perfect. They all have some
Yeah,
issues here and there, but it is what it is. But
Yeah.
but yeah, we're gonna do a monthly thing. It'll be up on Spotify, YouTube, and Google Podcasts. So basically anywhere you can, yeah. But I turn over to Seth and Jay and see what for closing thoughts.
Yeah. So, like you said at the beginning, my name is Seth. You can find me on Instagram at ReadyBuilder2. And please, man, if y'all just want to talk, shoot me a message. If y'all got any questions, anything that I could possibly help y'all with, please let me know. I'm happy to try to help y'all out any way I can.
I would say much the same. I'm available on Instagram. Say I hang out in Discord in certain places. If you send me a friend invite, I will most likely accept it. Um, we're just here wanting to build. We all like little plastic robots, trying not to take ourselves too seriously, but it's also a fun hobby because we can take the hobby seriously. So if you just let yourself escape, let yourself kind of get into it, get better, practice, and just find your place in the Gunpla or Plamo, that you will have fun, and we'll be there to have fun with you. And that is it.
Hmm.
And with that being said, guys, thank you very much for coming for for having us in your headphones, speakers, whatever. Whatever medium you decide to consume this. Just thank you guys for giving us a listen to, and like I said, we'll try to the next topic. We're gonna try and keep, I guess, like I said, positive. So yeah, just check it out. We're on Instagram on Thunderbolt Radio. You can find me on Instagram at @the_gunpla_stop. Ready Builder 2 for Seth. At Mr. JHound for Mr. JHound. Yeah, just have fun, enjoy, and just be, like I said, be excellent to each other, man. Be excellent to each other. Later.
We back.
Yay!